Welcome, my name is Matt, aka Road Jedi 88. We are getting the Star Wars mods, or Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes mods, Cassian Andor. And this is the Cassian Andor from Rogue One, not from the Andor. However, I know I, once in a while, am found smack-talking Disney for messing up post-Return of the Jedi storylines of Star Wars. However, I will compliment them here for how they have handled the pre-A New Hope storyline, because there are a lot of backstories, giving materials for what to do with the pre-A New Hope storylines. For example, many books like Glove of Darth Vader, The Lost City of the Jedi, or not Zorba the Hutt's Revenge, but The Glove of Darth Vader, The Lost City of the Jedi. I'm trying to remember, but I want to say Queen of the Empire as well. But there are many books that you fall into a pre-A New Hope backstories within them. And, of course, a lot of it is kind of told in the tales that are backstories to Admiral Akbar or Mon Mothma, Leia, the Organas. Whenever we do get a backstory in a post-Return of the Jedi book, or even Shadows of the Empire, as well as Return of the Jedi. Like Shadows of the Empire mainly is a bridge storytelling, bridge gaps storyteller between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. But they're also in preparation of trying to deal with the second Death Star. Now, we don't exactly get the story of the people, the Bothans that Mon Mothma talks about in Return of the Jedi, who sacrificed themselves. We don't get their story in this book. There's another story kind of in the same timeline as this. And I can't think for the life of me which one that's going to be, what the title is to it. I know I've come across it before, but it was a long time ago. But Shadow of the Empire mainly focuses on Leia, Luke, Lando, Chewbacca, R2-D2, and C-3PO trying to plan out how they're going to rescue Han. Luke getting a new lightsaber, a run-in with a Sith assassin or something of that nature named Prince Xizor, which is a similar species as a thug that tries taking over Sid's cantina in Bad Batch. Similar species as that guy. It was because of an interaction with him, how Luke just came to terms that there was good in his father. A lot of questions I hear movie reactors asking about whenever they first time watch Return of the Jedi. Whenever they first time watch Return of the Jedi, literally no joke, is answered in this book. And in Return of the Jedi, which was published under a different author's name, still led by George Lucas, though. Still a George Lucas story. It's just, you know how like Tom Clancy has back authors authored under his name, but in this case, George Lucas, in the George Lucas era, in the many books that were authored under or posed under different authors' names, was still supervised by George Lucas. He basically is still the lead writer nonetheless. Return of the Jedi, when Mon Mothma is being introduced, given that briefing on the capital ship, not only does it give back a little back reference to what she's talking about in terms of the Bothans that she talks about, you even get a small sliver back story, I believe, regarding kind of why she looks so freaking depressed. And it wasn't just only because of the loss. Now, this isn't the mods from Mon Mothma, but there is a story, there are backstories explaining why she struggles with so much depression, and a lot of what happened, what we saw in Andor. Anytime we get backstories on any of these characters that predate A New Hope, between Rogue One and the Andor series, Disney did a phenomenal job actually keeping with the stories. Did everything that was in the Andor and Rogue One show up in all the backstories? No. They had gaps to fill, and I have to say I was impressed with how they filled those gaps. Even with A New Hope, in A New Hope, Governor Tarkin, or Grand Moff Tarkin, when he enters the Death Star's conference room with the other Imperial officers, he talked about the Imperial Senate has been dissolved. Well, that was the backstory to that massacre that we see in the second season of Andor. He was referring to that situation. That massacre led to Mon Mothma speaking up, and the Senate dissolved because of her actions there. That was they backtracked it beautifully. Now, this is not Mon Mothma. This is this guy is too scruffy to be Mon Mothma, but he's a hell of a character. I hats off to the actor who did Andor, and just to the directors and the producers for this one. This one was phenomenal. Solo came close because there are backstories for that one as well. There were a couple things they could have let Disney just step out the door and keep their hands off, but this one, if y'all can keep going, if Disney can keep going in a direction like this, this is a good way to win back the George Lucas era generation of Star Wars fans, the ones that y'all have lost. I'm speaking out to Disney. Y'all lost a lot of my generation because of what y'all did with the post-Return of the Jedi. The recommendation would be to scrap those, read the books, and try again, because we do want to see those films. We also want, since a lot of our childhood years, we have been dying to see Shadows of the Empire put in the film. But anyways, Cassian Andor. SWGOH.GG recommends putting the support character with mod settings of speed and potency. You can go back to my first video in the mods playlist where I definitively break down the different types of characters as well as the different types of mods and what it is we are doing when we're putting them together. In this case, this is a support character with speed and potency recommendation. You can go speed and offense if you wanted to. You can go offense and potency. Or no, offense and potency if you wanted to. Or critical chance and... no, don't ignore that part. Speed and potency. Offense and potency. That's another option to go. Support. This basically gives him the ability to be a support attacker. He's not really much of a tank, but being a support, he probably has elements of tank elements in him, just a little bit. But this just allows him to move quicker, and when he does fight, they're gonna feel the hit. He's gonna attack. They're gonna notice him on the field. He's gonna be potent to them, and he's gonna be quickly potent. It's gonna be hard for them to miss him. It's going to be hard for him to ever miss them because they're going to be slow. But that is Cassian Andor mod. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comments, questions, suggestions down below. And may the Force be with you.